And we're back. It's a dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. From the way she was acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats slowly but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. Guess there's no harm in introducing myself, as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. The girl starts looking scaredly up at me from underneath the fringe. It's the first time I've seen her this close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third if not half, is pretty badly scarred. Yeah, that looks awesome. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. For a second I am shocked and avert my eyes to the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. It takes too many seconds to collect myself and remember what I walked up to her for. We'll save again. This seems like it'll be an important question that I'm gonna mess up. Guess I'll just be nice. Hi, I'm new here. Zao Nakai. We're in the same class. Yep, I kind of expected that. I just transferred here the other day. Maybe you don't remember? Yep. I did a self-introduction, too. The girl still doesn't say a word, but simply stares at me wide-eyed. I'm still getting used to the place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. So, what's your name? Hanako. Her speech is stuttering and so quiet that it is barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? So what are you reading? She gently tips the book backwards so I can read the title, at the same time hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi? I've never heard of it before. What's it about? A boy and a tiger. On a boat. I can see this taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is that any good? She nods from behind the book, but stays silent. She looks kind of tense, a bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified with terror, I'd say. So the mystery delinquent girl turned out to be anything but, and she is quivering in a way that makes it look like she is mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try and get a normal conversation going. It's a library book. I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many. No, it's mine. Oh, so do you come here often? Huge blush spreads on Hanako's face, and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for her eyes to do. Oh, did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? What the heck is all this stuff? No. Get out of here. Steam stuff. I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I've gotta go do something. Without warning, Hanako takes off and runs towards the counter. Her hair-leg takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't even manage to go after her until she has a good head start. By the time I reach the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lily and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long dark hair, kinda shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You would be talking about Hanako, would you? Yeah, sir. I saw her reading and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear, Yuko, would you excuse me? I had better try and find her. Sure, just hold on to these, and I'll just hold on to these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, see you later then. Darn, I was hoping we'd get more. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? Nothing, I just talked to her, tried to get to know her, didn't even manage to get started. Yuko sighs and looks awfully bothered, even more so than she did before. I guess you weren't wrong as much as tactless. Tactless? The girl's a bit of a special case. It's like she never really talks to anyone. Isn't that a bit strange? I wonder, it's just how she is, I think. Yuko doesn't sound all that convincing, and again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Everyone has their own problems, or else they wouldn't be here. Perhaps I was being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Forcing myself to act overly casually only makes me feel phony. Like like I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. Yuko fidgets, looking like she wants to say something to that, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. It makes me smile, and she blushes heavily. What, did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. Neither of us has anything to add, so Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. People who have papers on their desks really like doing that. Did you find any books? I should be closing soon. I mean, this library should be closing, but I have to do it. I hope that's not too inconvenient for you. Oh yeah, I want some books, but I left them over there because... I'll just go get them. I fetched my stack of books from beside the beanbags where Hanako and I were sitting and returned to the counter. Wow, you read a lot, don't you? I surprise myself with that too, at least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time earlier this year, so I just kinda started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. I see. She doesn't say anything else and just checks out my books for me. Guess this is what they call tact. Holding library books with one arm, I trawl my pockets for the key to the door. A sudden sound from behind startles me, making me nearly drop the books I'm carrying, or the key that I almost managed to get into the lock. Who is it? I turn around to see who is talking to me. It's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glinting off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is suddenly strained and quick. Yes, but we've met before. Yesterday. I don't think so. I would remember someone who I met only yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? I try to ignore him. Is he joking or what? Prove that we've met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. Kenji jumps back, his eyes filled with an uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn, this can only mean one of two things. Either we have met, or you're telling the truth, and I just can't remember it, or you're a spy. He pauses. A psychic spy. His eyes dart around me, trying to peek into my room, although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. His mood swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. How do I know that? I'm not a mind reader. Kenji points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you. Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. If you think you pass this out because I'm legally blind, you are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the resemblance is real slim. Maybe at a distance, but who do you think you're kidding? I want to grab him by the shoulders and shake him. Exasperated, I rub my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay there. Kenji comes closer, one careful step at a time. I stay silent lest he assault me physically, though I doubt he could do much damage even if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. What's up, man? You don't look too good, I think. Something wrong? I don't know, just had something stupid happen to me. A few stupid things, actually, even if you discount this one. I can't get a proper touch on other people here, and I have no idea if it's because of me or because of them. I don't know why I'm telling this to Kenji. It's not like we've had any contact either. That's rough, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about calling you a psychic spy and all, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. I'm slowly starting to think Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. See, this is how it is, this world. There's no justice, you see. Even when I lose, I win, because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. He dismisses it flatly with a wave of his hand. So what happened? Why the long face? Do you have a long face? It's nothing. I just scared some girl off accidentally, literally too. She actually ran away from me. It was my fault, really, I think. I'm not really used to all this yet. A girl, a cute one? She looked cool. Cute, that's a hard question. She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face... I guess it could go either way. Yeah, she was cute, I guess. She looked cool rather than cute, but I guess I'll go with cute. She was... yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it. There are a lot of cute girls here. It's a strangely disproportionate amount. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Yes, dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. I like this guy. Have you noticed that the number of girls in the school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys? It's like 60-40. That seems pretty normal. He turns his head to the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? I mean, to the untrained eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad, but that is a full 20%. One would think that school with such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. What I'm about to tell you could blow your mind. Are you ready? I don't know where this is going, but I think I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I am not ready. I only get as far as turning the doorknob before Kenji starts talking again, showing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe that this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity in the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have a superiority in numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the forces of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the build-up of the military has always been the clear sign of imminent war. Japan is just the first step. Our economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated, yet a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. The perfect target, they are so cunning, as expected of women. Soon, the day will come when Kenji's voice trails off ominously. That is why you can't trust them. They will string you along and then kill you. Just as they killed me, you will end up just like me. Oh, hell no. I can't stop myself from blurting it out. Hey, what the hell does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. So you're not supposed to say something like that. Damn, so rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, vast feminist conspiracy. Stop it. Stop. I lost you way, way back there somewhere. Somewhere around feminist infiltration. Too hard to follow. It's cool, I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. You don't like puppets? Okay, graphs are still cool though, right? He speaks energetically, responding almost before I'm done talking, moving his hands in an animated way as he continues to rant on. This is too strange. I had him pegged as relatively normal, but it's clear that I was wrong. Something on your mind, dude? Just thinking what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. You mean that's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. This is my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. The hell, there can't be two last sane men. It would invalidate that whole last part. And that part is kind of important. There can only be one, like in that foreign movie where there could only be one. And in the end, there's only one dude left, because that was the point. Oh man, this guy is so great. I've never seen anyone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Anyway, if you wait here, I can get my graphs. I also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies this school holds as tangled as... You know, in the part where we first found this guy, I think I put in the description that he seems like someone who would look at conspiracy theories all the time. Well then, I guess I called this. Quick, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm gonna go to bed now. It's extremely late. That doesn't sound like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. You seem pretty cool too. Most people don't understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. He claps me on the back and then vanishes into his room so quickly and quietly it's like he didn't even open the door but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened, so I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes me some time to relax and get up so I can get to start on homework. It's because the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. The school is like some kind of bizarre and surreal island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony, one would think that fitting in a place that's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Though I say that, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. Guess it's not as bad as I expected, though. This place really is more of a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. I opened one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Didn't we already see this? What the heck just happened there? It just really suddenly jumped here. Did I miss something? Yeah, I did miss something, but that was weird. I feel very tired this morning. Oh, is that what this says? It is what this... I thought I missed something. It just jumped here so suddenly. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so this situation is convenient for me. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now, there's no escape." Ichan, it looks like we're together again. Yay! Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her chest closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly. What's wrong, Ichan? Oh, Ichan, you've been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, Ichan, we were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for us this early, right? I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be. Now that that's over, Shizune snaps into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at this stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only 2 problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems like a bit much considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there. Huh? Who, Hichan? Her, Hanako over there. Does she always work alone? I think so, Hichan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone? I was thinking that maybe she could work with us or something. No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hichan. Why not? Shichan wouldn't get along with her. Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lilting up and down quality present in everything she says. Just because, Hichan? But now Shizune has noticed our conversation and makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she's been saying this whole time. What, Shichan? The friend of my enemy is my... Wait, what? The friend of my enemy is my enemy. That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that. You said it anyway. I know, Hichan. It's fine if you're over here. Wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she signs all the time, so there's never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hichan. We finished with time to spare, and I decided to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeterias. Frankly, the food has been subpar. This ends Shizune and Misha arguing amongst themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go to all the way there. What about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with the lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks, the ones with actual box lunches mixed in and chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels like I'm the only one who could see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I've started watching her. Guess she's waiting for someone. I do what I always do when I don't know what to do. Like now. I've already started on one of the books I borrowed yesterday and took it with me to school to fill the empty moments between classes. Find the page that I creased the corner of to mark the spot out. Ew, why would you do that to mark it? Just get a bookmark. Crease the corner, mark the spot I left yesterday night. I picked up from there. Misha and Shizune are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. If I join them, I'd just get caught up in that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. Misha isn't speaking aloud since there's nobody who'd need to hear what they're talking about. Why does she tend to sign things even when Shizune doesn't need to understand what's being said, or even more strangely, when Shizune is not around at all? What an odd conflict of habits. I found it hard to focus on the book, and besides, the lunch break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do so, heading down for the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune, having come to a conclusion of one kind or another, follow in my wake through though still talking in their animated fashion. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a runaway train. Ouch. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes looking up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and has now fallen down onto the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on a lunch break. More strikingly than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they are not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs and shins and feet made of black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural, almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Aw man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going, you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic in the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. Quickly forget about being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, don't forget your medication, most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. Seems normal. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stared at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realized that I probably looked worse off than I really was. Doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine. Managing to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me, big time, but it's nothing more than that. Sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay, I said I was fine, and nothing's broken, no harm done. That's good, I feel a hand on my shoulder at the same time the girl's eyes widen in horror. What the heck? It just skipped that on its own. And the girl's eyes widen in horror, and whatever she was saying gets interrupted by a very horrified eep. Oh, she looks angry. I don't have time to look behind me because Shizune is already shoving me aside and stomping over to the girl, signing furiously at her. Miss Ibarazaki, I saw that. Running in the halls is strictly forbidden. Misha translates right on Shizune's tail, but her voice is girlishly playful, not full of the divine fury Shizune's arm movements would seem to call for. Sorry, I was just gonna get some stuff and I was kind of in a hurry. You've been told this 1,000 times before. Your reckless behavior endangers other students, and even worse, it's explicitly against the school regulations. That's even worse? Okay. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute I find myself smiling. I know that I was just... Make sure this will not happen again, although I'm sure telling you this is futile and only causing me further headache when you choose to ignore the regulation. Got that, Emmy? Small girl sticks her tongue out in response. I gotta go. Teacher will have my head. I promised to help with printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, I gotta change and everything. Before Misha or Shizune can say anything, she's already bolted from where she was a second ago, almost halfway down the stairwell. Shizune looks like she's about to go nuclear on the spot, so I smile at her in a vain attempt to calm her down. You okay, Hee-chan? That Ibarazaki girl is always like that, causing trouble to others. You know, I'm pretty certain Shizune wouldn't call me Hee-chan. Never mind. Anyway, I'm okay. I just got the wind knocked out of me. That's great, Hee-chan. What? I wouldn't call that great, but I let it slide this one time. We have to run now. There's an important student council meeting regarding the festival, and we finally decided where to eat. Too bad you can't join, but this lunch meeting is only for council members. We can take you there some other time. Oh, but that'd be like a date, wouldn't it? Ha ha ha. The girls leave for downstairs. I didn't manage to get far from the third-floor hallway before all this commotion struck. Literally, I should get going as well. The lunch and afternoon pass uneventfully. I read most of the book I had started yesterday and eat some of the most inedible offerings at the cafeteria. The class is tiresome. Teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd. At the hospital I had 24 hours a day free time, but here, filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Muto is examining the assignment sheet we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nick? I ask about Hanako. I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I'd do after school. Teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he is holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. Seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people, I mean the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. Teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. You seemed to talk pretty well to Lily yesterday. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako, it's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, and straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado... Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about volume control before. Yes. But she doesn't lower her voice at all. Oh, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. That time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there, so you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? The president, thought that a teacher would know if there's plywood. Was she wrong? Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I don't think it's that bad. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. What should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya? I'm sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry him from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy. She holds her head with both her hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind schedule. Well, ask me to help. Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. I wonder if you could get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if trying to say, go make some friends. Yeah, I guess I can give you a hand. You can? Thanks, Ichan. You're really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her fingers, yelping. I'm looking very puzzled. Come to think of it, what's Ichan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hichan? No, I'm not. Is Hichan trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? Here's a list. I can try and find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the student council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hichan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall-building streak now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, it's all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune as I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classrooms closest to ours are designated belonging to classrooms 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Desks and chairs are all around the room, a thin layer of dust settling on them. There are some easels in the corner, so at least this looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shadows creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in the stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Anybody home? Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl, curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes and morsels of food stuck firmly on the end. That's cool. This odd way of dining seems to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, but her presence here is what takes me back even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in a corner very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in headlights. She's staring at me, her mouth wide open, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth wide open, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence and trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Hello. The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello, I was told to pick up some supplies from here. For the festival stalls, I think. I didn't think there would be someone in here. There isn't, that's why I came here too. She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false. You're pretty observant, I guess it does, but who are you? This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Nakai, Hisao Nakai, just transferred in on Monday. I'm Rin, Tezuka Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least we know who we are now. That's very nice. Her deadpan manner of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. Kinda bothers me joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is. She seems to have lost interest in me and is now gazing yearningly back at her food. Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back. Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day. What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say. I don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious. With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up the fork between her toes, and with at least as much impoliteness she begins pointing it straight at me. So, Nakai, what brings you to this place? Like I said, I was told to look for these things. No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside? I come to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. I I can guess. I am good at guessing, better than most people. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issues of this is part of the social code here, as the teacher said. Wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances, or Lily's either. Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there. Beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side. I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. Problem must be in your pants. Oh. This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement and the sheer lack of tact it was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widened in revelation and astonishment. So I was right, there's something wrong with your tackle, isn't there? Jeez. Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing I can think of. No, nothing like that, I have a heart problem, arrhythmia. I said it, more like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together and glowers at me. Is that how you pronounce glowers? Let's just say that's how it's pronounced. Looking very disappointed. How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous. What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down. I forgive you. Just I collect people and a person with, that kind of problem would have been really great. Collect people? People with different problems. Huh, so you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them? Pretty much. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what she's said. I think I read that last one wrong. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people I've either known about already or heard about from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hizao. I have a very serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us. What a disgusting thought. Maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. The boy's uniform and the lack of arms makes her look very thin, almost scrawny. She's not particularly pretty except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorbing all of it within them, like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight would discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabins and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of this strange girl. So do you always eat alone in this light, or do you get the occasional visitor? Visitors, maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof, if she's not horsing around. Horsing. She likes to do sports, is it Emmy? Oh. And that's all I can think of to say. Both of us fall silent again as Rin forks the last bits of her meal to her mouth. I look down at my haul and double-check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So I think I have all the things now. That's very nice of you. Don't feel obliged to say I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping. I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious. Even if I did, I think I have to be going. I'll catch you around, Tezuka. You can call me Rin. I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much. I was already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine then, I'm Hizao. Then you are. Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all. She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why it paused like this. It just popped between us out of nowhere. See you later, Hizao. There's something like a tiny smile there in her face, maybe. And I guess I'm going to end it there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. I'm probably going to take a little break from this to do an RPG Maker game, because a few have been brought to my attention, so I'll do that and then come back to this. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.